Wow, we're ready on time. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Village of Bartlett Board meeting. We're opening our meeting this evening with a public hearing for Galleria Annexation Agreement. Call the hearing to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Kammer?
Here.
Carbonaro?
Here.
Daney?
Here.
Gabrenya?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Ranky? Absent. President Wallace.
Here. I will turn it over to our Community Service Director, Jim.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the required public hearing for the Galleria of Bartlett. The property is on the north side of Army Trail Road, just east of Route 59. It's a 1.59 acre parcel of land that will contain the Galleria of Bartlett development. The annexation agreement contains all the provisions for the zoning, the special uses, the site plan, and the several variations they have requested. And so this also was published in the news, in the Examiner on the proper time, July 2nd, in the Daily Herald, and I have the notice of public hearing for the record. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them.
All right. Any comments, questions for staff? Any comments, questions from the audience? You can step up to the podium there.
Terry Witt, 471 Southwestern Avenue. Not specifically to this, but as it goes in, I hope that we ask IDOT to continue that bike path all the way to 59 and put in a crosswalk across 59. As long as there's going to be a bike path there, we might as well make it go all the way, because right now they have no plans to put a crosswalk across 59.
Thank you, Terry.
Okay.
Anything else? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Kammer, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Kammer?
Yes.
Carbonaro?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gabrenya?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes. Welcome to the Village of Bartlett Board meeting for July 17th, 2018. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Kammer?
Here.
Carbonaro?
Here.
Daney?
Here.
Gabrenya?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Ranky? Absent. President Wallace.
Here. We've requested that Pastor Michael Fueling from the Village Church of Bartlett do our invocation this evening. Pastor Fueling.
Would you stand and pray with me? Father, first of all, I want to thank you for each man and woman here today who leads this community with faithfulness. Lord, it is really our privilege to be leaders in this community, and we don't take that lightly. Father, our desire is to truly bless this village. That, Lord, because of our leadership here and the decisions that we make, that the people of this community would truly be blessed. And so, Father, I just simply ask this evening that in the decisions that are made from the major to the mundane, would you grant each man and woman in this room your wisdom? We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Fueling. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brings us to our consent agenda this evening. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered enacted in one motion. There'll be no separate discussion on items on the consent agenda. Is there anything the board would like to add to the consent at this point?
Mr. President, I would like to ask if we can add items B1, B2, B3 to the consent agenda. Should that be allowed?
That's okay, because we have 5 board members plus the mayor. The only different voting is the annexation agreement, which requires 5 votes. It's 2/3 of the corporate authorities. So if the board, is okay with putting that on, once you vote on the consent agenda, you'd have the requisite number of votes.
Okay. Anybody have any discussion over those? Anything else? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to amend the consent agenda to include the following: the minutes from the board and committee minutes from July 3, 2018, the bills list from July 17, 2018. The consent will also be included, and we'll be adding under Community Economic Development Committee, an ordinance approving and directing the execution of the annexation agreement between 59th and Army Trail, Inc., and the Village of Bartlett. The consent agenda will also include and be adding ordinance annexing the 59th and Army Trail, Inc. property to the Village of Bartlett. The consent this evening will also be adding ordinance rezoning the property from ER1 to B3, granting special use permits to allow a drive-through establishment to serve alcohol and to allow outdoor seating, granting variations to allow for parking in the front, rear, and side yards, and site plan approval for the Galleria of Bartlett.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Carbonaro. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Cabana?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.
Camera?
Yes.
Carbonaro?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item we have, now I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Kammer, seconded by Trustee Daney. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Hopkins?
Yes.
Camera?
Yes.
Carbonaro?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Yes.
That motion carries. Next item we have this evening is our Treasurer's Report. Mr. Treasurer?
Thank you. In tonight's packet is the Treasurer's Report for the month of May. This is the first month of our fiscal year. We're still working on wrapping up our last fiscal year. Our auditors will be coming out last week of July, so these are preliminary numbers. Also included are the sales tax report. So for the month of March, we received $167,000, which was $7,900 over the same month last year. We should end up just over our budget of $2,400,000 for the year. So we're looking on track for sales tax. And motor fuel tax, we did receive $94,336, which was just up a little over $4,000. We were slightly under budget for the year at $189,000. We budgeted $195,000. That's it for the Treasurer's Report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Any questions? All right. Do we have this printed or not?
No.
Okay, I'll take it. All right, next is the President's Report, and we have a special guest, so I got to move. There we go. We got it. If I can find it. There we go. You guys got to start printing these things bigger. First thing we have on our President's Report is the Proclamation for National Night Out 2018. Proclamation for National Night Out 2018, Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch is sponsoring a unique nationwide crime, drug, and violence prevention program on Tuesday, August 7, 2018, entitled National Night Out. And whereas the 35th Annual National Night Out provides an exceptional opportunity for Bartlett, Illinois to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts. And whereas the Village of Bartlett plays a vital role in assisting the Bartlett Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in Bartlett, Illinois, and is supporting National Night Out 2018 locally. And whereas it is essential all citizens of the Village of Bartlett be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and understand the impact their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in Bartlett, Illinois. And whereas police community partnerships, neighborhood safety, awareness, cooperation are essential themes of the National Night Out programs. Now, therefore, I, Village President Kevin Wallace, do hereby call upon all citizens of Bartlett, Illinois to join the Village of Bartlett and the National Association of Town Watch in supporting the 35th Annual National Night Out on Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. Further, let it be resolved that I, Village President Kevin Wallace, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 7th, 2018, as National Night Out in Bartlett, Illinois. Go Bartlett. Jeff, we're bringing home the gold, right?
Make it.
Or, I don't think it's Jeff anymore. Didn't you hand that down to Rybaski? All right. Thank you for being here. All right, next item on the President's report this evening is the BEMA coordinator appointment. Okay. There's currently a vacancy for the BEMA coordinator position. Since 2011, Commander Michael McGuigan has been responsible for revising and updating the village's EOP and keeping the Village Illinois Emergency Management Agency certifications up to date. He has also been responsible for maintaining the village's certification as a storm-ready community, as well as maintaining the village's Emergency Operations Center, emergency response equipment. Therefore, I appoint Commander Michael McGuigan as the Bartlett Emergency Management Agency Coordinator. I know this is Commander McGuigan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So that is that. Next item we have this evening is questions or answers. Anybody have any questions? Oh, let's give a round of applause to the Minister. It's always nice to see the commander here. Although I did see him a lot at the fest. Anybody have any questions for staff?
I do.
Okay.
There seems to be a stall in the construction work being done at 59 and Stearns. Do we know what's happening?
A stall, I would call it a stalemate.
Yes. Our understanding is one of the utilities still needs to relocate. If you look on the south side of Stearns Road, there's short poles, they cut off the top, and there's a cable still on the bottom. We believe it's either Comcast or AT&T needs to put their line underground, and I'm not quite sure why it's taking so long, but that's the delay. Until those poles get moved, they can't start the work.
So whose stall is it?
The utility, it's my understanding.
Okay. Anything else?
Actually, since we're talking about 59, and this might be to you again, Dan, is there any way that you can talk to the state, IDOT, on Auburn and 59, looking, as you're coming west on Auburn, looking south, the weeds are so high that it's obstructing the view, so somebody's going to get in an accident there because you just can't see. So either we need to take care of it, or IDOT, or somebody, otherwise somebody's going to not be able to see because of the weeds and pull right out in traffic.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
What's going on with the construction of 59 and Lake Street? What's the timetable on that?
That one's moving along. They have started putting pavement down on what will be the northbound to eastbound ramp. They started putting the binder base down. So once they get the, I believe it's going to be a concrete pavement, they'll open up. That project is behind also, but that was more weather related. With the wet spring, they couldn't do a lot of that dirt work. So they're pushing to try to get that ramp opened fairly soon. It was supposed to be like the end of June. Obviously, that didn't happen. So at this point, I would say probably sometime in August that ramp would probably get opened. And then, they're continuing to work on Route 59. They still have a dual left that will go northbound to westbound that needs to get done. So there's still a lot of work to get done. It'll be through this entire construction season, probably continue into the spring of next year.
Thanks.
And one final thing for you. We had a lot of concern over the Stearns Road bridge fixing. I've been across it several times since. That is an amazing improvement. So that is really well done. Looks so much better. So, good job. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, as a part of our question and answer session, we have some guests with us this evening, and I'm going to put them on the spot as a part of the intern program. So if each one of you guys want to step up to the podium and just let the board know what department, your name, and what department you're studying. Come on. Sam, get him up here. So those of you that don't know, while they're prepping, we're doing an intern, I think it's the first ever intern program with Bartlett High, is it Bartlett and South Elgin or just Bartlett High School? Bartlett High School. So we put the applications out, there were a lot of them, and these young ladies and gentlemen were the ones that were selected to be in the first ever intern program all summer long. So they're learning about municipal government, different departments, things like that. So.
Hello, my name is Emily Hedinger. I was working with the administration department as a local government rotating intern. My main project was the welcome packet that was redone.
Great.
Hi guys, my name is Brittany Yu and I'm a GIS intern. We've been working on a lot of different projects. We've been working with the park inventory and a little bit of mapping points on Petersdorf and Schick.
My name's Patricia Mara-Segan. I'm also a GIS intern, so along with Brittany, we've been working on park inventory, and then also we're working on getting some maps done for the new project to get Lake Michigan water.
Hey.
My name is Azam Khan. I'm part of the local government intern rotation internship program, and so far I've been helping create videos for the Bartlett Business Spotlight campaign.
My name is Mahar Mirza, and I'm interning at the Public Works as an engineering intern, and so far I've basically just been learning about what they do and how they do it.
Hello everyone, my name is Ishan Desai, and I'm a little bit earlier into my internship because I was in India for 3 weeks, but I am a rotating intern, and most of my work so far has been involved in Munis and making sure all the violations are up.
Well, I commend you all for taking your time out of the summer and learning in this program. Thank you. Did Sam tell you this was going to be a quick meeting? Is that why you guys selected it? They still have to get their hours, though, right? Yeah. All right. Next item we have this evening is our town hall portion of the meeting. If anybody would like to address the board, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and attempt to keep your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening. My name's Austin Hopkins, 944 Sam Piper Court in Bartlett. I'm the chairman of the Bartlett 4th of July Committee, and I'm here just to say thank you to the village, staff, and the police department for everything you guys do for our committee and for the festival. Without your guys' support, there would not be a festival. So again, we really appreciate everything you do, and give a special shout out to Sergeant Kyle Rybaski. He was there entire time and making sure that the fest was safe, and we really appreciate that. So again, thank you guys.
How was the turnout this year? Was it pretty decent?
It was. It seemed slow a couple nights, but when we went over some of the evening deposits and things like that, everything seemed to be on par with previous years, and overall, we had some really decent bands, so I think that helps when you have good bands out and everything else. But no, it seemed to be a pretty successful year.
Yeah. I won't mention any names, but there was a lot of beer spillage and some of the pouring that was going on back there. So you might want to have some people go through training or something.
Yeah, we do get a couple really good pourers, and we're always happy when they come out. But no, there's usually we have these drainage tubs, and at the end of every night, they're always filled with beer. It's just part of the thing is you factor beer spillage into the final cost.
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins.
Austin, I'd like to thank you also and the 4th of July Committee for all the effort that they put forth. We were up there 3 or 4 days, I don't remember anymore, but I thought what you guys did was outstanding. So thank you very much, and to the committee.
Yeah, bring the bags back. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That was something new this year, and, you know, it was, it turned out really well. You know, I think, and as we'll try to keep growing it and getting people out there, maybe we can do a tournament. But, you know, again, I appreciate your support, and there's many people on our committee that make sure that this festival runs smooth and goes together very well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Would anyone else like to address the board at this time?
Terry Witt, 471 Southwestern Avenue, here in Bartlett. And Mr. Wallace, I would like to congratulate your son and his 3 friends on that amazing fundraising ride to Niagara Falls.
Thank you.
That's a lifetime memory.
Yeah.
Really good. And of course, we love our kids, so they're our future, right? And
You learned a lot of things that can go wrong on a long ride.
yeah, I bet.
Like no bike stores that carry specialty tires. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the fun of it.
Yep.
But they made it, right?
Yeah, they made it.
That's good.
Thank you.
Perseverance. So speaking of the future, the Chicago Metropolitan Agency for Planning is in the midst of creating a vision for the year 2050 called On to 2050. And this vision is for the whole region, including everybody. And so I think about Rooster Creek Business Park. You know, what's it going to look like in 2050? You know, it's going to have a lot of water basins, trees, trails, and vibrant businesses. And it's going to be an important part of what's going on in Bartlett. And just for a second, imagine that we're getting business people from all over the world coming to invest in Brewster Creek Business Park. So, of course, they fly into O'Hare Airport and be in 2050. We've got Western access. We'll have bike facilities just like they have in Europe, just like they have in Asia. They'll have it right here at O'Hare Airport. And so maybe these business visitors come from the Netherlands. So they go to the bike facility, they go to the bike share, and they get an electric-assisted bike. What do? They ride right out the Elgin O'Hare Bikeway onto the North Central DuPage Regional Trail, right to Mallard Lake, and then they jump on the Stearns Road path. They ride across that bridge you just complimented everybody on. And they get to 59 and stop. Well, they stop because the trail stops at 59. It doesn't go anywhere. So, well, maybe they Uber from there. Or maybe they stopped at the Elk Grove Business Park, or the Roselle Business Park, or the Mallard Lake Business Park. But no, we're going to get them. We're going to get them to Brewster Creek because we're still in 2018, and we got a chance. We call Dan Cronin and say, Dan, that trail has been on the county plan to go from 59 to the state park since 2014 and before. Let's get it built. We got equipment and materials sitting right there in Brewster Creek. Let's build the trail. And by the way, we want to call it the Brewster Creek Trail. And we want that Brewster Creek Trail on the county visitor's map. Brewster Creek, we want to be on the map. And then after that, you go and call Joe Sabo and say, Joe, we need the Chicago Metropolitan Agency to get the congestion mitigation and air quality fundraiser grant to pay for that trail. You say, okay, so then you get your cup of coffee, you call up Tim Schneider and you say, Tim, let's get that curb cut at Munger Road and West Bartlett Road, and let's get Spitzer Road dedicated. Your morning's over, but you have lunch with Dan at Public Works, and you say, hey, Dan, come on, let's get some wayfinding signs all the way from the Metro Station down West Bartlett Road to Spitzer, through the business park, and on Stearns down to the Nature Center. Hey, we'll also get our people to be able to have a nice, safe ride that way.
Yep.
So then we call the Park District and say, let's put up a map board at the state park, just like we got at the metro station, just like we got at Jim Jensen Pavilion, have bike sharing, and let's go. Come on, let's do that. Besides, there's 100,000 trail travelers that pass by the other side of the state park that don't even know about Bartlett. So we'll put a couple signs there and say, hey, Dogfather, Sonic, Bartlett Oasis is open for business. Let's go. Come on this way. Have some fun. We're ready to serve you. So at the end of all of that, it's kind of, I guess, up to the village board to say, yeah, we want a Brewster Creek Trail. Yeah, we want a way for our residents to be able to ride between the community center and the nature center and stop at 59 and have an ice cream cone at one of those places, right? I mean, it's summertime. Let's get out there and ride.
Thank you, Terry.
So, out a little sheet of paper here that I handed out to CMAP at last week's open house, and they think maybe there's something in that for a CMAC grant.
All right, thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. Anybody else like to address the board at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to our standing committee reports this evening. At the risk of boring everyone with saying that they have no more report or their items were on consent agenda, I will just concur that all standing committee reports were approved on the consent agenda this evening, which brings us to new business. Is there any new business that anybody would like to discuss? Other than bike trails. All right. Any questions for staff? Have we heard from Paula? How is she doing? Is she still wandering through Europe somewhere?
She's having a fantastic time. She went on a beer tasting tonight in Germany, so she's pretty happy.
Sure. You didn't have to mention that. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved. Second.
Moved by Trustee Daney, seconded by Trustee Hopkins. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Kimmer?
Yes.
Carbonell?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gabrenya?
Yes.
Hopkins?
Yes.